We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu, and from everyone here, but especially from Grogu, he wants to say Happy New Year.
Yay!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Come to think of it, he's one of the oldest ones on the podcast. He's seen over 50 New Years.
Yeah,
He's
yep,
almost as old as you, Daddy.
yeah, almost, but not quite.
Mm.
And we're on the road with Mickey. This is episode 201 for January 1st, 2024. That's why we said Happy New Year. See, that's the way we work
Yay.
here.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
roll.
we celebrate the
And
holidays.
that's right. And our feature topic this week is 24 things to do in 2024. This runs the gamut of all sorts of things that we want to get into. But first, we got one very big cheddar from the big cheese that Brenda's going to share with us. So, Brenda, take it
Yes.
away.
This is just a big reminder to not forget all the changes coming January 9th. So, just a little bit more than a week away. You will no longer need park reservations. The dining plans are back, and you can park hop all day long. No need to wait until 2 o'clock. It's going to
Yeah.
be a great year, I think. It's going to be a great, fun year at Disney. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Can't
I'm
wait.
so excited.
I am too. And it's so weird though, because it seems like yesterday was the start of 2023.
It does seem like that, though.
And instead, yesterday was the end of 2023.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goodness gracious, where did the time go?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's
I don't know.
fast.
You know what? This is off topic slightly, but 5 days from today is our fourth anniversary of On the Road with Mickey.
Oh my
Goodness.
goodness. Yay.
It's just boggles my mind. Just
Yay.
boggles the mind.
I'm so
So
thankful Mike and Sophie started that. Otherwise, where would I be?
You would
I,
be off doing something amazing. We all
of
know
course, yeah, absolutely amazing.
So grateful for this show. Just love it.
Me
Love the
too.
listeners, the family, the community out there. Oh, I hope they write in and let us know what they're planning for 2024.
I hope
that.
so too. So,
Well,
with
speaking of 2024,
yeah, without further ado, let's get going on our list.
yeah,
You know, there's some things that we have just a few items left over from 2023.
not quite as many as were left over from 2022.
That's right.
That's
We had
true.
9 left over from 2022, and we only had 6 this year from
Mm-hmm.
2023. So,
It's getting
Sophie,
better.
you have a couple on the first two. So, why don't you tell us those?
I do. All right then. Well, as all of you recognize from last week, wait, no, not last week, the week before, we were talking a little bit about how we did with our 2023 list, and I mentioned staying at the Boardwalk Inn and going to Jelly Rolls and the North Atlantic Dance Hall. Those three things are all right next to each other. They're all in conjunction with one another, and so I didn't get to do either of them. We have them as two items on the list just to make it a little bit more difficult for us to come up with something else. But I want to do those this year. I want to
Yeah.
do those this year, and we're actually planning on merging these two with possibly the next one on the list, but that's Daddy's. So I will let him talk about it.
Yeah. So,
Those are
next
good
on the
ones, though.
list, those are good ones. And
Mm-hmm.
next on the list of carryovers were I had 3. One was taking my mom to Disney in December, which I hope to make happen this coming December. And you know what? the way the world is going, we're gonna blink and it'll be December.
For
So I
sure.
better start looking at that now.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
note to myself. The other thing is I want to still make a lightsaber in Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Fun.
not going to talk about Sophie's lightsabers, which were much better value than mine will be,
It's
but
okay, Daddy. Yours, like I said, yours can change colors. Mine
yeah.
can't.
And then the last thing I have was expanding my business with the Universal Orlando Resort. And actually, that's going to get expanded a little bit more further on in the show. Um, so that is still on my list from 2023. Still one of my goals for this year is to expand my travel business with Universal Orlando Resort.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then back to me for a minute because Aunt Brenda, she is the queen here. She got all of her stuff on the list done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really only me and Daddy that are slacking behind here. But the thing of it is that this item on the list, I have a feeling it's never gonna go away for me, just because I can do it multiple times, and that is that I want to eat around the world, and that is
Mhm.
still ongoing. Obviously, we went to the Food and Wine Festival last time, and I instead chose to eat at Le Cellier, which is amazing, and I do not regret it at all. But the downside is I ate so much, I could not fit another bite of anything into my stomach, so that meant no eating around the world for Sophie. But that's
Yeah.
okay, because I've had a few of the Food and Wine Festival foods before, so I'm all right. And we're just going to keep on going.
Yep.
It's going to
Exactly.
be
2024 will
okay.
be a great year for that.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, it will be. And so, since Sophie and I have hogged the airwaves, we're going to let Brenda give one of hers.
Oh, well, first I wanted to say I don't know that I'm the overachiever of the group. I think that possibly Mike and Sophie are bigger dreamers than I. So we're just going to let them keep dreaming because
Hmm.
that's the best thing ever. And I think that Sophie's little motto for 2024 should be eat more in 2024.
Maybe.
Oh, oh
That's an
man.
idea.
Yes. And it's
Wait, are you?
easy to remember.
It is, but are you saying that I'm skinny?
No, you're perfect. But you do
Okay.
want to eat around the world more. And it just cutting out those few extra words just makes it easier to remember.
You're right. You're right.
Eat more in 2024.
Yes.
Dang.
Brenda needs to eat less.
So does Mike.
Oh.
So does Mike
Well,
by
Daddy
a
maybe,
long.
but Aunt Brenda no.
Daddy maybe. Daddy yes. Aunt Brenda no. Aunt Brenda's fine. Daddy
Yeah.
definitely.
Aunt Brenda should just keep on eating the exact amount that she is.
Well,
All right.
speaking of eating, I'll do my first one because I do a lot of eating on Disney cruises because you can. And it has five-star food on the Disney cruises. So my first one on my list is sailing on the Disney Magic on January 21st, which is coming right up in 20 days. I can't wait.
Wow.
If you've never been on
Wow.
a Disney cruise, the food is awesome and you don't have to go by any limits on the Disney cruise. If you have a menu in front of you at the restaurant and you have, let's see, you have some kind of steak you really want to try, and then there's also another dish you really want to try and you can't decide, they'll bring you both and you'll eat both.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
eating less is probably not going to start until February, but I do enjoy trying so many new things on the Disney ships, and the food is magnificent. And they always work with my food allergies. They're the very best. So I'm really looking forward to sailing on the Magic on January 21st.
You know what, Brenda? You started talking about food and my mouth started watering. And I started thinking, you know what? This is so awesome because One of mine is about a cruise I'm taking a little bit later with Cindy, but um, but I started thinking on a Disney cruise line, there are no limits to your snack credits or
That's
your table service credits that you get like you get with the Disney dining plan. This is totally not a factor.
right. You are
So,
so right. Yes.
golly.
It's
Oh
awesome.
boy. Oh boy.
Totally awesome.
All right. Do you want to give us another one, Brenda?
Well, I can. My second one is that I'm going to be planning another Northeast fall foliage trip in October of 2024. If you don't know, I'm born and raised in Galveston Island, so we down here in South Texas don't have fall. We don't have the colors that you guys get to see in the fall. So our trees are green and beautiful in spring and summer, and then the leaves just fall off and fall, most of them, and they just are bare. But we do have
Mm.
some that stay green, but we don't have that beautiful red and orange and golden here. So this will be our third trip to go to the Northeast and spend time in fall. And we want to do maybe some fall festivals, apple picking, which we've never done in our whole lives, and it's
Mm.
been a long life. So we want to incorporate some new stuff. So if you have any ideas for that, please send them in the comments because I'm going to be planning the trip. I'm making all kind of notes right now. So there's a lot of things that you guys get to do in the fall. You might not realize that other people around this country don't get to do. So
Yeah.
anything you'd like to share, thank you very much.
And
That sounds great.
that's a good point that we make our lists here and you all
Yeah.
know our lists and we're list makers, but
Mhm.
we want to hear your lists too because we know we're not the only list makers here. So
Yeah.
what give us and I'll put it in the group. I want to put it in the Facebook group. What are some of the things that you want to check off your list of things you want to do in 2024? you
Yes.
know we want to hear back because so we can report some of that back on the show.
Yeah, we
But
want to encourage you to get your dreams fulfilled too.
yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, those are two great items, Brenda.
Okay.
And I have one that I think I'll share. And I'm really thankful that we have this podcast, and I'm thankful that I was encouraged to start it and that I made the leap and that I did start it and I was, able to start it with Sophie because
Yay.
that
Yeah.
was that was, absolutely a almost, I didn't think about how much I really wanted to do that until we started getting into it. And one of the things that's been a really cool bonus on that is that our podcast has been seen and recognized a little bit in other circles, and it's kind of neat because I just happened to find this article a couple of years back, and it was the top 100 Disney podcasts you have to listen to. And the first year I saw it, we were on this podcast post that I'm like, who's heard of us? But they had, and we were number 77. And last year I checked that post again, and we had moved up to number 74. And
Yay!
I want to see where we can move this year. And
Yeah.
it's not. I hope it's not being seen as an ego thing.
Oh, it's
It's
not,
just
but it's
it's just a humbling thing that
yeah.
that people get enjoyment out of our podcast enough that it's climbing these ranks of these charts. And
Yes.
so it's just kind of neat that they see value in what we're producing. And so I want to see, as one of my items is, I want to see where our podcast can climb in the Disney rankings. So let's see where we can end up at the end of 2024.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds like a great goal.
So that's one of mine. All right, Sophie, why don't you give us one?
All right. Well, if I'm being honest, a lot of my items on this list are actually in conjuncture with each other because I have a really big year planned this year. For those of you who don't know, the reason we started this podcast was because I was going down to Florida and my parents were staying here in North Carolina. I was originally going down there to go to school. I was going to this place called Full Sail University, and my dad was like, Sophie, I want to keep in touch with you. So why don't we start this podcast just as a way of meeting together weekly so that we can at least see your face and I know you're okay.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
Well,
great.
well, in case you were not aware, the pandemic sort of drowned all my aspirations of college because it shut down my school. I was going there to study film, and the school was completely closed. All of my classes were online, and I realized I wanted hands on experience, and I was not getting that staying in my 333 square foot cinder block of an apartment being on my computer all day. So of course, the apartment building eventually closed down because they were wanting to scrap it and build again. So I got evicted. It was not my fault. It was nobody's fault. And I was like, hey, daddy, they're evicting me. And at that point, we took it as an opportunity for me to come home. I withdrew. I went and got a job. I started paying off my student loans. But the thing is, even though I came home, this podcast still remained. And just as this podcast still remained, so remained my dreams and aspirations of going back down to Florida because I love it in Florida. I love Disney. I love the weather. I love the lack of income taxes.
Hey, we don't
So,
have that in Texas either.
ooh, you don't?
We don't
Yeah.
have state tax.
No.
Maybe I should move to Texas instead. Are they building something Disney over there?
No.
Actually, Universal's building us a younger child
Like a
kind of
kiddie park.
park. Yes.
Yeah. Think Legoland
Florida it
Universal
is.
style.
Yes.
Florida it is. It's okay. I'll come visit you someday.
Yay.
But the point is, that's actually not on my list, but it should be. But I only have so many things on this list because I'm sharing it with the other two. So as it stands, a lot of my things are moving towards going back down to Florida because I'm almost finished paying off my student loans. I just need to, and I'm going to go ahead and mark one of my things off my list because it's on my list. Now that I'm almost done paying off the student loans, I just need to save up the money for a car
Hmm.
There
because
you
I
go.
can't live in Florida without a car. I managed to do it for school, but that was because my only outing every week was a 4-mile walk to my Publix to buy groceries and a bus ride back because I didn't want to walk all the way back.
Yep.
And I
Buying
can't
a car is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a car, especially if I want to work at Disney because I can't walk to work every day.
That's true. You'll definitely have to have a car for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great thing to work on, work toward.
Yep. We're
Exactly.
getting there.
Yep. All right. Well, Brenda, why don't you give us another one of yours?
Okay, let me see what I have here. Um, well, the next one is planning our Disney Christmas time trip for the first week in December 2024. Because we will be
Ooh.
back when we took Luna for her 5th birthday this past December. My baby son Joshua, who's Luna's daddy, who hasn't been since 2017 and never shared it with his child before, immediately said, "We are coming back next year." So the Disney bug bit him back just like it bit me all those years ago when I was bringing my
Hmm.
kids. And so we're planning another trip for Disney 2024 for December.
Can I piggyback on that?
You sure
Mm.
can.
Because we want to take my mom
That's
to
right.
Disney, and I think it would be really cool if we could at least overlap. Some have some conjunction of our days being
Yes.
together, because
Yes, that would be awesome.
that would be so much. I mean, Sophie's birthday trip, it was almost 2 years ago now, and that
Yeah.
is still a highlight of my Disney trips in my life.
Yeah.
Is Sophie's
I
birthday
loved
trip,
that trip.
and having you guys there is part of what made it such a highlight. So,
Yay.
yeah. So
That sounds
if we
perfect.
can hoard in on your plans, I would absolutely love it, and that would
Yay.
be really neat.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yes.
Okay. So we
Yes.
got to talk
Aaliyah and McKinley
offline.
are already in love with Sophie, and I know that Luna will be in love with her
Aw.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
And
the girls
speaking of which,
too.
go check out Brenda's Facebook page, or Brenda Plans on Facebook, because she had her point of view video of Luna seeing Cinderella Castle for the first time, and it will absolutely melt your stinking heart because it was so adorable. Oh my gosh.
Sweetie. Yep.
Oh my
Awesome.
gosh, it was incredible. It was
Thank you.
absolutely
So sweet.
perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. So
Yeah, McKinley
anyway,
couldn't wait to show her.
yeah, that's a cool thing if we could get into that and plan our trips together. That would be really cool.
Yes, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. Well, I am going to give another one. And for me, I want, I talked about the podcast, which is the audio side, but we also, as you know, we have our YouTube channel. It's On the Road with Mickey.
Yep.
And you can find it in YouTube if you search for that. And I would like to have a bigger show impact on our YouTube channel. And the reason I say that is because we love being on YouTube and we love posting our videos and everything like that, but I don't get a whole lot of views. So I really want to see what we can do to make that kind of just explode and we start really, taking off in the YouTube worlds, because that would
Fun.
be really neat. So that's some stuff, and all these sorts of things are things that I think primarily are things that I'm going to have to research and figure out and learn things and try new techniques and everything like that. And so hopefully the end result isn't just, Mike's ego being stroked,
It
but
won't be.
it's that we end up having a better product that we're producing, that everyone gets more enjoyment out of the show.
Yeah.
That's really what I want, is to have more enjoyment for our listeners and to make it something that makes it must see TV or YouTube TV, or YouTube whatever, um, you know,
Yeah.
each
Certainly.
week. So
Certainly. And I mean, the thing of it is, we have we're doing so much better than we were doing at episode 1. Let's
yeah,
be completely
yeah.
honest about that. We are doing so much better. So I think it's just a matter of, even if we do nothing but continue to make episodes, we're going to keep on getting better because practice makes perfect.
It was so funny. I sent the link to the audio to the girls, to Brenda and Sophie, and I replayed it so I could hear episode 1 again. And the funniest thing to me is I'm like, all right, people, like I'm some drill sergeant or something, snap to attention. I'm like, all right, people, hey. It was just absolutely, the first two words on our audio were, all right, people.
I didn't even bother watching it.
Oh, you got to. It was awesome. But the intro back then was really cool too, because Sophie wrote it up and it was just really neat. So go listen to it because it was really neat, you know? So,
Yeah.
it
That's
really
awesome.
just comes down to I'm the tech guy. I make sure that it
Thank God.
records and gets put online. But Brenda and Sophie, they're the real talent of the show and they're the ones that
Oh,
make it happen.
now wait a minute. Wait a minute, this show would not exist without you.
That's right.
Well, yeah, but I'm the tech guy. I'm like the technical director, and you're like the on-air jingle girl, and Brenda is just like the research queen and
Sophie's the genius girl.
the
Hmm.
genius girl.
Yes, the genius girl.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
making
Anyway.
me embarrassed a little. Okay, Aunt Brenda, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Is it my turn for another one? Let me see what I have down here in my
Because
little.
you guys have so many, and then I only have 3 left. So
Oh,
you guys go now.
okay. Well, one of my big goals for the year is to grow my cruise business. And I only sell 3 cruise lines, and that is Disney, Royal Caribbean, and Celebrity. And I don't think I'm going to expand into other cruise lines. I'm not positive yet, but I do want to do more kind of, I guess, social media posts that involve cruising, because the older I get, the more I love cruising. I really I always enjoyed it, but it's just more and more I enjoy just being in God's earth on the water, and I just want to share that more than I normally do, because I love being in the parks too and go go go, and that it's fun, but I really am enjoying relaxation and just kind of being slow sometimes. And so I want to give people a feel of what cruise life is like more than I've been focusing on. So that's what
Exactly.
I'm hoping to do.
You know, Psalm 46:10 is one of my favorite verses. Be still and know that I
Ah,
am God.
amen
And
to that.
Yes.
on a cruise, you can live that so much
Yes.
easier. I think anyway. I won't know until after my cruise.
It is
But
so
you can live
wonderful.
that so much more readily than you can in a park. You
That's
know,
right.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. That's why I always tell people, oh, we want to do a land and sea. Well, they be sure to do the land first, because you're going to need the sea once you're done. You
yeah,
do not want to have your R&R time first and then go kill yourself at the parks. That's your reward for killing yourself at the park.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to kind of spend a little more time developing my social media for that, driven to cruises.
All
Yep.
right. Well, that's
All
awesome,
right.
Brenda.
Thank
Give us
you.
another one, Brenda.
I need to learn to use Canva.
Hey,
Mm.
I have been paying for Canva Pro for months, and I have absolutely no idea how to use it.
I am your Canva guy.
Thank God, because I cannot learn. I have difficulty learning things that are technology driven. They hate me.
Once you really learn it, Brenda, and really all you need the, for me, I use it this much. Okay. I pay for Canva Pro also, but I use it this much, and there's so much more that it can do. But once you learn the this much part, then you'll be more comfortable learning that much left.
Yes,
Um, but it is so easy once you get the hang of it. So we will work that out together, Brenda, and
that's
I'll knock
awesome.
it out so that you're not wasting your money. You
Thank
know,
you. That
um,
is awesome.
every single podcast, I take my photo from my background, and that's what I use to make my thumbnail for the YouTube video, and also for the post that gets up on the road with Mickey.com. That's the image that tells us what the feature topic is, the little graphic of our logo that Sophie designed for us,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
the name of the podcast, the episode number, all that is done in Canva. And it takes me
Nice.
to do that takes me 2 minutes, Brenda.
Wow.
And then it's done. And so yeah, I
Fabulous.
will definitely help you with that.
Well,
And
thank you so much.
once I've shown you the little bit that I know, you'll be like, Mike, is that all you know?
I know that's not all you know. You you've gotten me out of so many jams with technology.
So anyway, so
Oh.
I am your Canva guy. I will
Well,
help you with
thank
that.
you.
I will help you with that.
I appreciate that.
All right. Is
All
it my
right.
who's going, Sophie? You or me?
Let's see here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've still got 3. Aunt Brenda's still got 3. Yeah, you go, Daddy.
Okay. Then I'm going to work on increasing my travel business in 2024. And the reason I say that is because this year, next month is my 11th anniversary of being a pixie. And
Yay.
last year, my numbers were not where I would like them. The amount of business I had was nowhere near what I like it to be. And so I want to increase it. So I had, obviously I had a carryover, which was increase my Universal Orlando business, which didn't happen last year. And I think it was part of the whole overall, my numbers were just down. So this year I want to increase my business overall, not just Universal, but in all aspects of travel. So that is on my list of something I want to increase it. And that's a personal thing, obviously, but we're all travel planners. Brenda and I, it's not just about, okay, how much commission am I making? It's about how many memories are my families
That's right.
creating. And that's why we do what we do, because the more people I can help plan their trips, that means the more memories that they're making with their families that are going to last a lifetime. And so the more I can help
Indeed.
people do that, the better it is for them, you know?
That's right. It's
So,
better to give
so
than to
that's why.
receive.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Givers.
why. So that's one of the ones on my list.
Yay. That's a good one. What about you, Sophie?
All right, then. And this next one is one that I literally came up with last night
Nice.
Hmm.
because last night we were at my Christmas family reunion with my mom's side of the family. And I have a huge family on my mom's side. My dad is the youngest of 2. My mom is the oldest of 5. And all 5 of them are married with children, and some of their children have children. But one of my cousins, her name is Katie. Bless her, she is probably the sweetest cousin out of all of us.
Sweet.
I found out that she's never been to Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Oh, time to remedy
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly. Exactly. And so I was like, Katie, this year I'm dragging you down to Florida and we are going to Walt Disney World, the 2 of us, possibly with my parents. We'll see, but I know I'm getting you down to Walt Disney World this year because you need to go. You've had a hard year, and I want to do my best to help remedy that.
That is
Exactly.
awesome. What a great goal. That is perfect.
Yeah, I told her, if I get down there this year and I have my own apartment, you're coming to stay with me. I'll sleep on the couch. You can take my bed. I'm going to make sure you get down here.
Yeah.
That is great. That's a perfect
Yeah.
goal.
And her face, she just lit up. You could see how much
Oh,
she was smiling.
Yeah.
love that.
I do too. And I think it'll end up happening with
I
her
love it.
coming with all of us, Sophie, not just with you.
Yeah.
Super sweet.
It all
So,
depends on the circumstances, but yes, I would love for it to be all of us. I just want to get her down here because it's the happiest place on earth.
For sure.
mhm. Yep. All right. Brenda, give us one.
Okay, let me see what I have here. I this was in the back of my mind last year, but I just didn't get it done. I want to plan more family beach weekends. We live about 20 miles north of Galveston, is right in between Galveston and Houston. And we used to live on the beach. I mean, we were always there, and it's traffic is my nemesis. The loads of traffic going down on the weekends, I don't like to be caught up in it. And so even though I wanted to do more beach weekends last year, I didn't because it was it just kept me anyway. There's too much fun to be had to be worried about how long it takes us to get there. We'll just have to leave earlier and then come back later or whatever. But this year I'm going to plan more family beach days.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a good idea.
that does sound like a
Yes.
good idea.
Yes, because it's so much fun down there. We have a great time. Nope,
All
that's it.
right.
All right.
So I have 3. Sophie has 2, and Brenda has 2. So I need
All
to go,
right.
don't I?
You do.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this one is in relation to my technology business, which is called Tech Solutions North Carolina. And I want to continue to increase the impact that Tech Solutions has had with the community in 2024. And the reason I say it that way is because this past year was absolutely the best year I ever had with my technology business. And this was my 7th year in operation running my own business. And the beauty of it is not that it's more money in my pocket, which obviously is a benefit,
Yeah.
um, but it's also that by having that kind of impact, then I'm able to have an impact with the community. When someone has something going on, a lot of my clients um, are more elderly, and if someone has something going on with their technology, I'm able to help and not necessarily have to charge them because I have income coming in other ways. And so I'm able to have an impact in the community in that regard. Plus, a lot of the times when I help my clients, we start by talking about their technology issues that they have, but 9 times out of 10, it expands into what's going on. You know, we get to know one another, we get to know what's going on in their life, and we just kind of, you kind of have an ear of someone who is listening and is able to hear what is stressing them out about what's going on with their life. And it just makes for a really big impact on helping them outside of just helping them with their technology, you know? And
Yeah.
so that is a benefit that I never envisioned happening as part of me starting my business, but it's just the way God works. You know, he gave me the push to start my business, and he's guided it every single day, and he continues to guide it, and he is able to show me ways that I'm helping in his kingdom without even realizing it, you know?
That's
So
right. He moves you.
he moves me.
I
And
think there needs
that's
to be more of a focus on barter, like there used to be many, many, many years ago when people would barter one service for another. And, people are, I know being a person that struggles so much with technology that you are a true blessing to these people who probably, it's almost like we're trying to read German, not knowing the language, and it is so frustrating and hard to deal with technology, and you're saving them from so much grief. But a lot of times I think it's great if people like focused on bartering more, and like, you have such a gift for this, but I might have such a gift for this, and let's work together and make both people better, and everybody gets to give and everybody gets to receive, and it just makes everything just better.
yeah, yeah.
So I think I know what a blessing you are to those people, that I know for a fact, because you do the same for me.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a
Brenda's
gift.
Brenda's not just my sister from another mister. She's also my friend, my pixie comrade,
Yeah.
my my client for her website,
Yeah.
you know, and she helps me as much as I help her. So,
Yeah.
I hope I help in any way. I'm happy to help
You
in any way, but
do.
you definitely have a
you
gift for the
absolutely do.
technology.
So, so
Yay.
All
anyway,
right, then.
so
Is it my turn?
that's one of mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I think it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, here's a little tidbit for those of you who don't know. Again, I said I want to work for Disney. The best way to get a job at Disney is to know someone who works at Disney.
That's true.
And so the thing of it is I actually have one recommendation from this lovely lady named Gwendolyn. She worked at the Crystal Palace when I was there. And she said that when I applied, she would be one of my job recommendations. Shout out to you, Gwendolyn. I am
Yeah.
getting there. I promise. I know it's been a while since we've spoken. Point is, it has been a while. And I want to just make sure that I have a lot of recent recommendations as well. So I'd like to go back to Disney, not just to bring Katie and not just to like have fun there, but I'm going job hunting.
Yeah.
So I plan
Oh,
on going back, talking to more cast members, making sure that they're having as great a day as I'm having when I'm at Disney. And hopefully, some of them will be like, yes, you should come work with us. We'll recommend you when you apply. Because it's
Yeah.
coming up. It's coming up
yeah.
eventually, sometime this year, I hope.
All right.
Yeah. We're praying for
Okay.
guidance for you, Sophie.
Thank
Exactly.
you. I want to work making the life-size gingerbread house.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be right up your alley.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I wonder what those people do all the rest of the time. They must just make other treats like for the bakeries at the
Hmm.
resorts and stuff.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure they do.
Yeah, that would be
Because
awesome.
Disney's treat business is probably
Oh,
second only to the actors and the parks and the ear merchandise.
yeah, and you've gotten so much experience with that. That would be
Yes,
perfect.
I would do anything Disney asked me to do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would be great.
All right, Brenda, give us one more.
My another one on mine is to attend the candlelight processional again in 2024. We usually do this each year, but this year when we were there with for Luna's birthday, we did not work it into our plan because although Butch and I love it, Butch and I also went to try out the Disney Jollywood nights at Hollywood Studios without the family. So I didn't want to plan another thing without the family. And I really didn't think that Luna at 5 could sit through I mean, it's long, but it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Adults, of course, but I thought she was a little young. So want to plan it where when we go in December, Butch and I go off for a night and do the candlelight processional.
What did you think of Jollywood Nights?
I liked it. We had fun.
Okay. Yeah.
We
Hmm.
had fun. It was short. Um, I
Sure.
I in comparison to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, it lacked
Ah.
some elements as far as I'm concerned. Like for instance, at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which is around the same exact cost, they give the cookies all night and the hot cocoa and cider and all those kinds of things, and they don't give anything like that during the Jollywood nights. And I feel like they
Hmm.
missed an opportunity there. They have treats you can purchase, um, various ones, but you don't always want to pay, 169 to get in and then pay for every treat. So I
Yeah.
Yeah.
the great things about it, I think it's too short. Mickey's Very Merry is 5 hours. This one was like 3 hours. It passed very quickly. But I got to meet Mary Poppins and the Penguin and take a picture with them, which is
Hmm.
a treasure to my heart. And that one memory alone was like
That made it worth
awesome.
it for
Yeah.
that year.
Just
Yeah.
that one thing made it wonderful, but there were a lot of other wonderful times we had there. So
Okay. Well, good. Thanks for that input
you're
because
welcome.
obviously we didn't get to it. We didn't go this year at Christmas, so we didn't see it. One of my clients said that they were glad they went, but they don't need to do it again.
I feel the same way, except that I do Mickey's Very Merry every year. So there's a
Hmm.
difference there. Yeah.
Yeah. And they loved Very Mickey.
Yeah.
They went to both as well, and they loved Very Mickey Christmas Party. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um,
It's just different. It's a different feel. There's a parade, there's snow, there's
yeah,
those things were not at Hollywood Studios. So
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I have two left. One is regarded to organization, and I'm going to give that one now because my last one is coming up soon. But this one, I have two businesses. I have my travel business, and as you know, I have my technology business,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and I want to organize myself better so that I can implement both businesses better and be more organized in dealing with whatever comes across on either side, without any issues. And so organization is something that's a key for me and it needs to get better. I'm not as organized as I should be. So I want to get better organized to so that that will help both of my businesses.
I'm happy to
So
help with that.
I know you are. I already talked to Brenda offline about helping me. She's already given me
Or
tip number one: get rid of the crap you don't need.
first walk around with the trash bag. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
So,
eliminate
pardon
all
my
that
language, people. Sorry.
junk.
Sometimes it happens. But that's one of mine. So,
Yay.
Sophie, do you have
That's a
one
good one.
more?
I do have one more, and this one I'm really excited about because it pertains with one of my Christmas gifts.
Uh-huh.
As you all know, I am a huge Haunted Mansion fan. And this year for Christmas, Jagan and Aunt Sheila and Uncle Randy got me a very special set. I have these Mickey ears. If you're listening to the audio, we'll post a picture of it in the Facebook group for you. But if you're watching the video, you can see right now these are some Mickey ears that have portraits of Constance Hatchaway, the Black Widow bride, along with a few of her dead husbands. And it has a veil with it.
It's awesome.
So the minute I saw it, my dad was like, well, I know what she's going to be for Halloween next year. And he was right. And I want to go to the Halloween party dressed as Constance Hatchaway and wearing this amazing bag. We will post a
Nice.
picture of it as well. But here, I'm going to try and,
Is that
nope, I
another
can't.
Christmas gift?
Yes.
Goodness, girl.
And you can see here it has one of the so the bag itself is huge. It is as big as me. And as you can see, if I hold it just right, there is embossments on the bag itself. It has obviously the headless groom. And then down here, you can't see it quite as well, but it's got Constance. And on the bottom, it has embroidered the term Kiss the Bride. I'm very happy about it. I want to
Wow.
wear it. And so I am going to make it a point to go back to the Halloween party this year, and I am going to be dressed as Constance Hatchaway. So that is on my 2024 list. I have the veil. I just need the dress,
Fabulous.
Yeah.
which I've always had a thing
So,
for wedding
yeah.
dresses anyway. So I'm going to find a short one, maybe at a thrift store somewhere, and we're going to repurpose it.
Very
There you
nice.
go.
Can't wait to see photos of that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Brenda, you have one more on your list.
I do, and that is I always pray every day for God to lead me. I mean, I've always done that, for him to lead me to wherever he wants me to be, but I feel like I'm particularly open, or want to be particularly open to see where he wants to lead me this year. I feel like a very strong tug to volunteer more at my grandkids' schools.
Hmm.
I know, a lot of, even the PTO's been talking about the great parent involvement they've had this year and everything, and a lot of, and I step back from that because I feel like I did that, when my kids were young, and then now it's the other parents' turn, etc. But my sons and daughter-in-laws are very busy, so I feel a strong tug to help more at the schools, which means, you know, I need more time for that. I'm just waiting for God to lead me wherever, you know,
Yeah.
whatever he has in mind for me.
Exactly. And that's the key is sometimes, you need to pray about it, which I know you are, and you also need to wait on his timing to tell
Yes.
you where, and so that's a big factor.
Yeah, it's
Um,
hard. It's hard to,
it is
you
hard.
know,
because we're not in the same time realm as God, and our timing is okay. I waited a week, God. Hello,
Yeah.
don't you know how patient I've been for a week? And he's like, oh, well, I just blinked. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Our week is a blink of an eye for him. So,
Yeah.
but that's a really good thing to have on your list. And it's on, I think in some ways it's on my list. Also just not on my list for this show, but, I'm really excited. The last one is, and this is our last entry for 2024, is
Mm-hmm.
taking my first Disney cruise, and Cindy and I are taking it. And that is going to be a topic down the road. But Cindy and I are taking a cruise on the Disney Dream out of the new port. What is it? Port Everglades? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
In
In Fort
Fort
Lauderdale.
Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. And we leave on January 31st, 30 days.
Yep.
And we are on a 4-night cruise that gets us back to Fort Lauderdale on February 4th.
You are gonna
And,
love it.
Mm-hmm.
we're getting more and more excited. We have one excursion planned on February 2nd or 3rd. I can't remember the day. We'll be at Nassau in the Bahamas.
Nice.
And we are taking an excursion that is a catamaran. It's a land and sea. So it starts out in the sea. We take a catamaran journey through the harbor that shows us all the historic areas of Nassau, the governor's mansion, everything like that. And then they transfer us to a bus, and it takes us in, and we get to tour some of those historic sites. Um,
Very nice.
and
Yeah.
and we picked it because we looked at several factors, but one of the things we wanted was to see the history, and
Yeah.
this we think gives us the best history. And also, they had a whole bunch of things like go to the beach, and we're like, why do we need to pay to go to the beach when we're going to be at Castaway Key? So
Yeah.
wouldn't that do the same thing for us, kind of.
Castaway Key is beautiful.
So, anyway, that is gonna be our first cruise.
So excited for y'all. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to
You
hear about
know,
it.
it's coming up so fast, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
really neat. And
Yeah.
it's kind of the de facto birthday present for me because my birthday is 2 days after we get back. So
It's gonna be awesome. Are you dressing for Pirate Night?
I wasn't planning on it.
Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. Sometimes we just wear. Butch and I used to get all decked out for Pirate Night, and now we just wear a pirate themed T-shirt that says something like, I don't know if you're going to be anything, but if you're going to be a pirate, I don't know. Anyway, we just wear those now. We've downgraded from the full ensemble to just a pirate T-shirt, but it's okay. Everybody does their own thing, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So
So
much
I
fun.
don't even know what night is Pirate Night.
Pirate Night is Castaway Key night. They do the fireworks that night.
Mm.
Oh,
They do
okay.
it there. Yes. The
Okay.
fireworks on board the ship. It's so amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
It's lovely.
So
You're
that's
going to
gonna
have a
be a
blast.
topic. We're gonna talk about our cruise, and Brenda's gonna talk about her cruise at the same time. So we're
We're
gonna
going to
have
talk about food on
a
the cruise.
cruise recap. Yeah, and how much we ate.
That's right.
So, and then
Oh, God.
after that, Sophie will have to have that on her list is to take a cruise one day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would have been on my list, but well, I have other things planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Don't
have
worry.
so much time.
Yeah, I'll
So
get there.
we'll
I
get
will
there.
get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that, my friends, is our feature topic. So remember, what's on your list for
Yeah.
2024? We want to know. Remind me to post it. This is me reminding myself, post it in the group. Let's find out what's on people's lists, and we'll just see where it takes us. But
Hmm.
it is now time for this day in Disney history. So
And I got
Sophie,
a lot of great stuff.
you
Yay.
take it away, honey. You roll with it, baby.
All right then. Well, these two days, obviously they're the same day, but they're in different years. And I think it's great how the website manages to link them together somewhat. So I'm taking us back to 1888.
Okay.
Very
Wow.
far back.
Yeah.
An Irish Canadian named Elias Disney marries a German American named Flora Call. They are married in Akron, Florida, a town in eastern Lake County. They will later move to Chicago, Illinois in 1890, and in 1901, Flora will give birth to their fourth son, Walter. Although no longer in existence, Akron was located 40 miles due north of where Walt Disney World stands today.
Nice.
Wow. How
And then,
cool is
Good link
that?
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then 50 years later, on their 50th wedding anniversary, the Disney family came together to celebrate, but also the Tournament of Roses parade took place in Pasadena, California. This year's theme is Playland Fantasies. Coming immediately on the heels of the film's December 1937 premiere is a parade float featuring Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Aw.
Marjorie Belcher, who was filmed in the live-action model for the character Snow White, dons a costume once more and plays the part of Disney's princess on the float. The costumed dwarves on the float are the same actors who were present at the film's Hollywood debut on December 21st, 1937. This is Disney's first presence ever in the annual parade.
Nice.
Yeah, really neat. Great
That's
history,
very
Sophie.
good.
Thank
Great
you.
history.
That Tournament of Roses parade, oh, those floats are so beautiful to be made out of just live roses.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. People are so talented.
Yeah, much more talented than I am, that's for sure.
And
Mm.
me, for sure.
All right. Well, there is no such thing as coincidence. That's all I'm going to say. And it is time to stump the Soph.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. This character is always yawning
Sleepy.
with dark, drooping circles under his eyes.
Sleepy.
This character has slow reflexes.
Sleepy.
This character is the one who understands the animals have come to warn them.
Sleepy.
It is Sleepy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Man, she got that fast.
Yeah, she sure did. But how coincidental is it that I
Uh-huh.
chose Sleepy the same episode that Sophie was talking about the dwarfs being on the parade for the
That's
Tournament of
right.
Roses parade.
You're right. Nothing is by accident.
That's
Yep.
pretty darn cool, Sophie.
Thank you.
Sleepy
promise I
from
didn't know.
Snow White and the Seven. No, she didn't know because I didn't pick that character until this morning in my office.
Yeah.
So she had
She
no
never
idea.
knows. All these ones that she gets right all the time, she never knows.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's our Who's Who character.
Yay.
Golly.
Who was it, Sneezy?
Huh?
Sleepy.
I'm
So,
just messing with you.
all right. Well, Brenda, it's
Yes.
time for a little bit of Walt.
Yes. The first thing I did when I got a little money to experiment, I put all my artists back in school. The art school that existed didn't quite have enough for what we needed, so we set up our own art school. Walt Disney.
Nice.
Very
Gosh.
nice.
Really nice.
Yep. He used his money to invest in others, which is awesome. Made
Yeah.
them all better. Some stayed, some didn't, but a lot stayed.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
They sure did. Well, my friends, that wraps up our first episode of 2024.
Yay.
And next week, I've got what I think is a fun topic. We did our episode on our top 5 Disney songs. And we
Yeah.
did that based on the Sirius XM thing that we are still waiting to see if we get selected.
That's true.
But anyway,
Well, we are just waiting for them to upload the thing, aren't we?
we're waiting for them to post it on their Be Our Guest for the Day episode that they do on Sirius XM. But anyway, until that time, next week, we're expanding on that a little bit. And instead of talking about our top 5 Disney songs, we are talking about our top 5 Disney music albums. So, all time, every album that has ever been produced by Disney, we want to come up with a top 5 list for each of us. So, think about all those great soundtracks. Think about all the great music you've heard, and let's get a list of 5.
Are the
And
songs from the newest movies still produced onto albums, or what is the medium?
Well, by album, I mean, whatever. Not
Whatever
album
soundtrack.
necessarily. Not
Okay, I just wanted to
necessarily
know,
has to
'cause
be
I-
like a vinyl thing.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I count albums as collections of
Awesome.
songs from
Yeah.
the same movie.
I miss using my
Right.
little 45s and my little album and my little record player.
You can buy a record player that plugs into your computer through USB,
Pretty cool.
and then you can use that to play your vinyl and record it as digital into your computer.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
Don't tell my husband that, because when we finally got rid of all those albums years ago, he was so mad.
I won't tell Butch. I might send an anonymous text,
Oh,
but I won't tell
no.
him.
Ugh, Daddy.
He probably knows all that anyway. Butch is
I
pretty
bet.
darn
Yeah,
smart.
he's pretty swift.
So, anyway, people, that's our topic next week. Until then, we hope you all have a great week, a great start to the new year. And I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. And he's Grogu. And we will
See you
See
on
you
the
on
road.
the road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.